But I believe our colleague, Abhishek Kotari, he's in conversation with Capital First Management. Abhishek, over to you.
So Nigel, we are at Motilal Oswal Wealth Creation Conference, and who better than Capital First to talk about wealth creation? He has created 10x kind of wealth over the last 5 years for investors. So let me begin by asking you, Vaidyanathan sir, how is it that despite the fact that India's GDP is at multi-year low, and you have been growing your balance sheet at 25% plus?
GDP being low at 5.7% represents the overall economy. Where we are operating is actually financing customers who are relatively underfinanced or not financed by the existing banking system. That too using technology as a platform, which makes the company more scalable. And I think these three factors, maybe coupled with corporate governance, just adds a lot more value and gives sustainable growth.
Would you tell us the impact of this privacy law that has come in on the financial companies?
I think it's a progressive law. It has many nuances to think about. I think one of the key things it will do is that it will make financial services companies also more responsible on how to access data, on how to store data, and how to use the data. I think it will bring a lot more responsibility in people.
You are also on the panel of Niti Aayog. So what's the update over there, sir?
We had a very good discussion when we were in Delhi recently on, banking sector reforms was a subject that our group was working on. I think it is a very engaging discussion, and the really good thing was that the number of people who were, the people who were attending the program, including the Prime Minister himself, the Finance Minister, Cabinet Secretaries, I think the panel was really very good. And I think we put together our best, in our best judgment, some good ideas, and I hope they will get carried through.
So with GDP being at multi-year low, the inflation is also on the lower side. What's your view in terms of interest rate from RBI going ahead?
You can clearly see the amount of cash that came to the system after demonetization, and a substantial portion of that is still lying with the banks, has not yet been deployed. So I think with that amount of liquidity out there, at some point of time interest rates should tend to come down. Secondly, the inflation numbers have been quite benign. There has been a little up and down, but broadly stable to a downward bias. So we cannot predict exactly the next policy. If we take a 1 year forward, 2 year forward, definitely India is moving towards a lower interest rate environment. I think housing loans to come below 8% will be a seminal moment, and I do look forward to a time when housing loan rates come down to 7% to 7.25% again, which is what we experienced in 2000, maybe 6 or 7.
So with 99% of the money coming back in terms of demonetization, what's your own take in what has happened in demonetization?
Well, first of all, even if it's 99%, we should remember that 1% money did not come back. And 1% of such a large base maybe is still a substantial amount of money, which probably got confiscated from maybe, antisocial elements, drug lords, terrorists. We don't know. All that money that are lying there has, end of the day, some money has got left behind. That's one part. Secondly is that we certainly have to agree that the level of digitization that has happened in India after demonetization is high. And people do say that, look, after the effect wore off, have the digitization level come down? The answer is no. If you take Capital First, for example, our collection from electronic means pre-digitization, pre-November was 8,000 a month. Now it's going to 32,000 a month. So there's a 4x increase in digitization payments. I think it's a good effort.
Just one last question. What is the impact of GST that you have seen across your customer base? And also, how has been the responses to the new products that you have been launching?
First of all, the GST full impact will play out over the next few years, but I think, as all of us agree, it's a big move for India. It will do India very well in the long run. With regard to new product launches, we are continuously expanding a product suite in the less banked space, but the one that we are, of course, most excited about of late is the affordable housing, because that is growing really very well. We think an upward of 30% growth compounded over the next few years is definitely in housing, affordable housing we should get to see.
So that's it from my side, Nigel. You can hear from the man himself. He's talking about 25% plus kind of a growth rate to sustain, with affordable housing being the key focus.
All right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. That was Abhishek in conversation with Capital First. But one place where capital is being lost right now is Quality. That one should come up for you. Quality Dairy. It is suddenly slipped into the lower circuit, frozen in lower circuit with huge volumes, nearly 3 lakh shares traded. So that intraday chart should come up for you, down 20%. And I'm looking for some sort of obverse reaction on a couple of other dairy stocks.